Good morning.
Devil May Cry.
One thing I haven't talked about more in depth and shared my thoughts on them are the characters of Devil May Cry 5 as we see them appear in the trailer. Why does Dante look aged? Does DMC5 take place before or after DMC2? And who is this multi-eyed demon? Hey, what's up good people, it's YellowMotion here and welcome to my Devil May Cry 5 character analysis and breakdown video, as I'm going to give you a complete overview into the various characters we've seen in the trailer, and I'll also give you my thoughts and opinions as well. In this video, I'll be mainly talking about Dante and the new demon villain, so let's get right into it. It's officially been confirmed that the character we see in the trailer is none other than Morrison from the Devil May Cry animated series, as he's the one who brings Dante most of his job requests, as this marks the first time that a character from the animated series makes an appearance in a Devil May Cry video game. But as you'll surely can see, Morrison looks quite different than he's from the anime, as in my opinion it's meant to be a different interpretation and representation of the character rather than making him exactly how he looks in the anime. Morrison's role is still unknown, but I wouldn't be surprised if he'd help Dante and Nero through the events of what's happening in Redgrave City with the demonic invasion. So, as we all saw Dante in the trailer, he has much longer hair and a small growing beard. And he quite looks to be much older than he already was in Devil May Cry 4, right? And I just want to say this right now, but I think he really looks great. Now hear me out on this one. You see, we only have seen a couple of seconds on him riding on his motorcycle, but it could be the lighting of the shot itself, and the beard and the long hair that make him look like he's aged very well. If you look at him without his beard, suddenly he becomes much more younger, you see? And I have to say, he looks more in tune to his Devil May Cry 2 design. We do not get to see much of Dante or his motorcycle, as the scene itself is in constant motion blur, but there are a few notable things to see here. Dante makes his entrance with an almost hellish demon motorcycle, almost as if it really was forged and made in hell itself. And it seems to have some sort of devil wings on the side, along with some horns on the front. This motorcycle also has some spikes in the front of them to probably pierce through some enemies. He doesn't seem to have a sword with him, and on his jacket there seems to be some sort of blood, like tiny blood spatters, but maybe that could be from a recent fight, or as he just slammed through some demons with his spikes that are on front of his motorcycle. Also, the place where he is, it seems to be in a destroyed, abandoned place where nobody has been in for a very long time. And the place itself looks like it had skyscrapers and tall buildings. So what could all of this possibly mean? Well, I think that one of the possibilities is that Dante is back from the demon underworld, as he entered it during Devil May Cry 2. So am I saying that this takes place after Devil May Cry 2? Well, let's have a look at the timeline. As far as the official timeline goes, just regarding the games only, is Devil May Cry 3, then Devil May Cry 1, Devil May Cry 4, and after that Devil May Cry 2. But since DMC5 is a direct sequel to DMC4, taking place several years after. Now it's not specified how many years that is, but to me that's around 3 to 4 years. You see, at the end of DMC4, we see Dante leave and Nero asking if he would ever see him again, and Dante simply not replying but giving a sign. At the end of Devil May Cry 2, as Dante enters the demon world and defeats the last boss, we get a cutscene where he says that he goes all the way to hell, and that's how the game pretty much ends.
Yeah, let's go all the way to hell.
And at the beginning of DMC5, Nero doesn't know the whereabouts of Dante ever since he said goodbye to him in Devil May Cry 4. And now we've seen Dante coming back in DMC5 on his devilish motorcycle and its lifeless surrounding with its tall buildings and destroyed skyscrapers. This really fits very well with where DMC2 took place, as Dante was also in a familiar setting where Dante entered the demon world. And yes, we can say that several years have passed since DMC4, but who knows in what circumstances Dante has been in hell, meaning that those several years that have passed by for Nero might be even longer for Dante as he was in hell. I'm just saying, but to me it all pretty much connects well together. but also more logically if you think about it. The DMC5 is pretty much being made for the fans. For Itsuno and his team, Devil May Cry 5 is made to be more or less their last DMC game to go out with a bang.
Itsuno says that he is convinced that this is the best game that he's ever made because we made it for you, our fans. and we hope you look forward to seeing more.
But since DMC2 was, in my honest opinion, a hot pile of garbage, you don't want to talk about this game, but you still want to incorporate it somehow in your lore after DMC4, just for the sake of being it canon. And if DMC5 is potentially your last game, you want to end it with a high note and not with a story of DMC2. Hey, but until it's really confirmed otherwise, I'm positively and strongly believe that DMC5 takes place after DMC2. And I think everybody surely wants to see this timeline happening. According to Hideaki Itsuno, the multi-eyed demon that appears in the trailer is a very important villain in the game, and it's said that he's around 26 feet tall, which is around 8 meters, as he's seen to be awakened as the demon tree is implanted into Redgrave City. We also see that the multi-eyed demon is being awakened during the invasion, as the stings that are unleashed from the demon tree rip straight through the people and they are sucking the blood out of them, as all of it pretty much goes to the demon himself, where he's being awakened, as you can see from the tubes right here. So we don't know much about him yet, as he could be a sub-boss of the game or it could be pretty much the final boss in disguise, who knows. And what's also interesting is that the bosses that appear in the trailer also have multiple eyes on them, meaning that they could all be under control or even be empowered by the multi-eyed demon himself. Or maybe the eyes are a direct connection to him, as he can pretty much see what's happening at the spot, like he's always watching you. Now it might just be a design choice or a theme going on in the game to accompany the new demon army or forces of the new villain. We'll find out eventually. And according to a recent Famitsu article, it's implied that the new demon villain in DMC5 is stronger than all the demons the Devil Hunters have faced since Devil May Cry 1. And according to the Japanese Devil May Cry account, it says that the demon that has emerged, where the invasion of the human world has begun, are a much stronger force than the Demon Emperor himself. Now, the Demon Emperor that they are saying refers to Mundus, as that's what he's called in the Japanese version of DMC1. And this can possibly mean two things for me. One is that the multi-eyed demon can be Mundus himself, meaning that it's somebody new and somebody different than him. Since it's been implied it's someone else that's even stronger than him, or even a much stronger force than him. However, it could be someone related to him. And it might also be the case that this demon is someone who will bring Mundus back from the underworld and basically resurrect him one way or another if he has completed all of the requirements by starting the invasion in Redgrave City, as Mundus was sent back to the demon world by Dante, and Mundus vowed to Dante that he would return and rule the human world.
Dante, I will return, and I will rule this world.
Now, also, what's really interesting is the Devil May Cry 5 logo itself, as it's quite different from previous DMC games. You know, as usually the previous Devil May Cry games all have a character that is featured as a silhouette, but in the Devil May Cry logo design, which I absolutely love by the way, here we have a set of wings that are colored red and cyan blue. The whole red and blue colors are usually referring to Dante and Virgil, but in this case, since we're talking about the new villain and Mundus himself, we can look at it from another angle. You see, as the logo forms, first we see a red wing, followed by a feathered cyan blue angelic wing, where we also see feathers falling. Now, the whole angelic themed wings could also be a callback to Mundus as the Prince of Darkness, since that's how he was portrayed and took shape in Devil May Cry 1, as he wants to portray someone as God himself. And the red-shaped wings may be related to the new demonic villain we see in the trailer. And if you play it back, you can see that from the red wings, the blue angelic wings are released, or rather formed. So maybe it's indicating that this new demon is in fact part of Mundus's new army, and he's probably on a mission to resurrect Mundus and get him back to the human world to rule it, as Mundus himself after all said that one day he would be back. But up until now, to who he exactly is, we don't know it yet. As you can see, something is opening behind him for something maybe even greater to come. Maybe that's Mundus himself. And there are also a few theories going around that are very interesting. For example, it could be a corrupted Sparta that's also under control by this new villain because of the three eyes. And also, if we have to believe the official game overview for Devil May Cry 5, it states that The supernatural family drama also continues as Dante, the son of Sparta, seeks revenge for his brother's corruption and mother's murder, and that is none other than Mundus himself, as he is the one responsible for the corruption of Virgil and pretty much for the death of Dante's mother. As fact as this is officially stated in the game overview of Devil May Cry, leaves me to believe that Mundus himself is the ultimate villain. You don't show the bad guy immediately in your trailer, you know what I'm saying? Even though I think this multi-eyed demon is certainly a new villain, a new character, there is something more behind that disguise. It pretty much leaves you intrigued to who this multi-eyed demon exactly can be. And there you have it, guys. This was my Devil May Cry 5 character analysis and breakdown video for Dante, Morrison, and the new multi-eyed demon villain. Join me next time for my next upcoming DMC5 video, as I'll be talking about Nico, Nero, and the cloaked person that ripped off his arm, in other words, Virgil. Giving you my analysis and breakdown and everything you need to know, just like this video. That and more in the next video for Devil May Cry 5. But the most important thing is, what do you guys think of any of the topics for the characters I've talked about in this video, and what are your own thoughts on it? What are your own theories and speculations you have? Jump into the comment section below and leave me your thoughts. And listen guys, while you're here, why don't you like the video, as that helps me greatly, and become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And you can find me on social media simply at YellowMotion for more news and updates. And that'll do it for me guys for this one. Thanks a lot for being here and thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.